Hi, I'm Dr. Thad Deal, and today I want to talk to you about MS, or multiple sclerosis. It's a terribly debilitating condition, and its incidence is on the rise. And you may want to know, what can a chiropractor possibly offer someone with MS? And the answer I have for you is a lot, really, because not only am I a chiropractor, but I also have studied extensively in functional medicine and functional neurology, or brain-based therapies. And while we don't treat or cure individuals with MS, we can support and dramatically improve the quality of their life and their health outcomes by addressing all the underlying triggers for their condition. Because while it is true that there is a genetic predisposition towards developing MS and really any other autoimmune condition, genetics or DNA is not your destiny. The genetics is like the bullets that go into a gun. Your environment is what pulls that trigger. So by identifying those environmental factors, those lifestyle factors that have turned those genes on to express themselves, where your immune system is now attacking your brain and your nervous system, we can dramatically, again, improve the quality of your health and your ability to do the things that you enjoy doing. With an autoimmune condition, we have to identify all the triggers of inflammation that are causing your body to continue to attack itself. We look for things like underlying infections, to things like bacteria, parasites, yeast, molds. These can be environmental triggers that are making your problem worse. It could be foods or food sensitivities. Everything that you put in your mouth has the potential to cause inflammation, or it doesn't, and it's likely that you are eating things that are making your condition worse. So by doing specific testing, we can identify exactly which foods might be triggers of inflammation and may be causing your immune system to continue its attack against your brain. And then by eliminating them and showing you how to eat for optimal brain and nervous system health, we're going to really improve our outcomes. By looking at your digestive system, because digestion is very, very important. If you have digestive issues, inflammation in the gut, it's going to lead to inflammation throughout the rest of the body and the brain. So we really want to do a good investigation of the health of your gut through something called a stool ecology profile, which allows us to identify the good bacteria or the probiotics, which we would expect to see there, and determine whether or not we need to replace those. But also, has anything been allowed to overgrow that shouldn't be there? So opportunistic or pathogenic bacteria, parasites, or yeast could be causing inflammation and, again, making your condition worse. So by doing this test, we can figure out whether or not we need to replace those probiotics, and is there anything underlying that we need to remove. Anybody who's under chronic stress and having a chronic health condition or autoimmune condition like MS is a major stress on the body and your adrenal glands. So we have to look at your adrenal health through something called an adrenal stress index. Your adrenal glands are responsible for regulating your sleep-wake cycle and daily energy through cortisol. So if you have low energy, problems sleeping, it's essential that we look at your adrenal glands. Cortisol also influences thyroid metabolism, blood sugar. Blood sugar is very, very important and something that we need to manage with MS and any other autoimmune condition. So how and what we eat is going to be very, very important so as to best regulate and stabilize optimal blood sugar levels. We can also check for heavy metal and other toxicities, because these can oftentimes be a trigger for MS and other autoimmune conditions, things like lead, aluminum, mercury. We want to test for those, and if they're present, if they're a problem, there's things that we can do to address them. Then we want to really get in and investigate exactly what's going on with your immune system. Again, because this is an autoimmune condition. And there are simplistically two parts to your immune system. There's Th1 and Th2. Now Th1 are the army that attacks, kills things, and cleans up afterwards. Th2 are your B cells. They tag things for attack and destruction. Now ideally there should be some balance between your Th1 and your Th2 system. But what can happen with MS and other autoimmune conditions is that your immune system becomes tipped out of balance, and one side, either Th1 or Th2, becomes dominant over the other, and the other becomes suppressed. So we wanted to see if we can identify exactly how your immune system has been shifted out of balance or skewed, so that we can support and try to bring it back into balance, to modulate your immune system, because there are certain things that stimulate either Th1 or Th2. Coffee, for instance, or caffeine is a Th2 stimulant. So if you were Th2 dominant, you would not want to continue to drink coffee, because you could be making your problem worse. So really, by getting in there and investigating exactly what's going on with your immune system, we can develop a plan to best support you. We also want to look at a newly discovered branch of the immune system called your Th17 system, which is largely associated with inflammation and tissue destruction that goes along with any autoimmune condition. And there's certain powerful herbs and supplements that we can use to help downregulate or turn down that inflammatory Th17 system. So again, metabolically, we want to balance blood sugar, address any liver, adrenal, thyroid problems, but then we need to go deeper to identify what those antigens or triggers of the inflammatory immune attack against your body. So things like bacteria, parasites, yeast, and address those. Heavy metals or other toxicities. And last but not least, any of those foods that you could be eating. So by doing all this testing, we can really be specific in how we teach you to eat and supplement to optimize brain and nervous system health. But then we want to look at the effect and the influence that your brain and nervous system are having on your condition. So by doing a really good functional neurological assessment, we can determine which parts of your brain and nervous system are being affected and weakened by this condition, and then we can design a specific exercise and therapy program to try to strengthen those areas and improve their function through brain-based therapies. See, we look at the brain as a muscle, or actually a lot of smaller muscles, and there are specific exercises and therapies that we can use to target these specific individual parts of your brain to improve function that may have been lost or compromised due to your autoimmune condition. So really what makes our approach different is, rather than suppressing your immune system through immunosuppressive drugs that come with a lot of unwanted side effects, including increased risk of infection and certain cancers, or anti-inflammatories, what we want to do is address the underlying causes for your condition through lifestyle, through diet, through quality all-natural supplementation, and specific brain-based therapies. If this sounds like an approach that you would be interested in finding out whether it would be beneficial for you or someone you know who's suffering from MS, please call our office to schedule an initial discovery visit so we can find out whether or not we can help you regain some quality to your life.